Hello, can you hear me now? Is my mic on? Is my mic on? Hey, turn up. Hello, welcome to Work It Out Wednesday. I am Nurse C, a blessed RN, and this is all things dosage calculations, no math, no fears, no tears, just puzzle pieces. So, if y'all are ready to get started, oh my gosh, we're at 2.6K. Oh my god, y'all must be ready. Oh my gosh, double tap in. Tell me what program you're in. LPN, RN, BSN, accelerated, bridge, hybrid, pre-med, pharmacy, whatever you got going on where you are calculating the doses, let me know. And drop those puzzle pieces in, and please share the live so that the FYP can FYP and bring in all of the nurses, because in 2025 we are defeating dosage. The nurses are coming. Nurse C gets degrees, or at least past dosage calc. Y'all doing all right? It's the midweek. Y'all hanging in there? Y'all see my tumbler? My defeat dosage tumbler. It's got your metric conversions and stuff on there. I thought it was so cute when I made it. I was like, oh, I like that. No, Slim, you're not doing good. It's okay. Hang on in there. Alrighty. So, you take your entrance exam on Sunday? On a Sunday? Plan force! Oh my gosh! I was scared because you did not text me, so I didn't want to text you. Congratulations! You did it! I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. That's one of my students that I tutor, so I'm so excited. Oh, congrats, girl. Oh, yes. Okay, all right. Okay, let me fix my cheeks. All right, so here I said that we are doing dosage calculations, but we are not doing math. We're not doing math, okay? Yes, I tutor. I do tutor. I do individual private sessions, or you could do a small cohort, like up to 5 people, because then it gets a little bit too much. And I also have a workshop coming up too. Let's see. See? That's my workshop. So all of that is in the link that's in the bio and on my website. So I do have a workshop coming up. But yeah, I do tutor. All right, so here are the rules, okay? Here are the rules. Puzzle pieces. Very interested. Is it only? Yes, it's only dosage calculations. It's rounding, military time, conversions, oral, IV drip rate, all of that. And it'll be via Zoom. So you'll be able to interact more versus being on the live session, and you get the session and you get the questions. So yeah. And then a promo for the book. So a promo code for the book. So yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. All right. So these are the rules. Okay. These are the rules. Yeah, it'll be micro drip and macro drip. Yes, I can't do IVs without the drips, because some reason the drips, trip people up. But it's okay. All right, so always read the question. That's what we're going to do first. Read the question. If you can read, write, arithmetic, you can do this, okay? Then we're going to find the goal. The goal is that picture that's on the puzzle box. This is what your equation needs to look like once you get finished setting it up. Then we're going to find the puzzle pieces that we need to piece together the puzzle. Those are your conversions. So if you come on here, or if you start class and you think that you're going to be able to do it without knowing your conversions, I'm here to tell you, learn those conversions. Write them on index cards. Break them up. Put them on a tumbler like I did. Okay? Whatever you need to do, learn those conversions, okay? And the other puzzle pieces would be information from the problem itself. And the goal, I will show you how to help, pick it out. And then what stays by itself, that's in the problem. Like if it's the weight of a patient, like in pounds or kilograms, or the amount in a bag, or anything that does not say in or per or to go over, and it's just by itself, it stays by itself. Things that are partnered with something else, they stay together. So you keep what's together together. They're on their own puzzle piece. The single people are on their own puzzle piece. And then just remember that you can flip any puzzle piece the way that you need to make it fit into the puzzle. Because if you pour out a puzzle and the pieces go everywhere, they don't automatically come in position. You have to flip them and rotate them, right? You can do the same thing with these puzzle pieces. All right. I thank God for you and your patience. Oh, with no calculator. I'm going to go. Yes, you did that. I am so, so proud of you. That really made my night. I had a hard week / day / I don't know. That's why I'm kind of late tonight. So y'all, please excuse my tardiness. But we're here. I made it. All right, let's do it. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Speaking of conversions, do you know your conversions? So, this is a very interactive live. Okay? You talk to me, I talk back. 1 cup equals how many ounces? Put the answer in the chat. So, we'll go over these. We always start easy. So, if you came on, you're like, oh my gosh, I need such and such and such and such. We'll get there. We warm up a little bit. Just like when you go to the gym and exercise, you don't just hop on in there and just start deadlifting and stuff. You warm the muscles up, right? Yeah, we got to warm it up. And thank y'all for the hearts. Toy, thank you for the roses. I appreciate it so much. Okay, so everybody here looks like they said the same thing. 8 ounces. All right, 1 cup does equal 8 ounces. This one is kind of like a, when you put the star by it, the asterisk. So this is your metric to your household to metric to household conversions, right? So we know that 1 cup equals 8 ounces, and then 1 pint is going to be 2 cups. 1 quart is going to be 2 pints. 1 quart is 2 pints, and then 1 gallon is going to be 4 quarts. Okay? So, those are your household, some of them at least. Okay? So, you see how it's the pattern? It's like 2 to 1, 2 to 1, and then 1 to 4. So, pick up on those little correlations and those patterns, okay? All right. Next question. Do you know your conversions? How many milliliters are in a tablespoon? Think about OJ the Juice Man. Juice Man. Oh, and don't be trying to look on my cup to cheat either. I see you looking. The Gratitude Nook, I see you on YouTube. So for those who have not been here before, I do stream to here on TikTok and on YouTube. So once we get done studying, the replay is available. If TikTok ever goes away, like we don't know if it might, I will still be on YouTube. I still was on YouTube when we went dark on TikTok. I will always be where the students are. So all of my links are in my social. Make sure you subscribe to that channel and check out the other videos that I have. A lot of people ask, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? It's already a video made for you. So if you don't want to watch a long replay, check out the YouTube channel. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. All right. So what's the answer? C, 15, right? So remember, you got your teaspoons, your tablespoons, and then your ounce, right? So that's 5 ml, 15 ml, and 30 mLs, okay? So teaspoon, tablespoon, then an ounce. Hey, 5 mLs, 15 mLs, 30 mLs. Okay, boom, you got it. All right, one more. Y'all are doing really good. I'm so proud of y'all for learning your conversions. Awesome work, y'all. Awesome work. Y'all got this. Okay. What is this one? 1 inch equals how many centimeters? And this might be a little different depending on your institution of learning. Choosing nursing. You shared the live with more than 10 friends. Thank you. I appreciate it. But how many centimeters does 1 inch equal? You'll need this for your body surface area problems, either those pediatric patients or your geriatric patients. Okay? So 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So our answer would be C. Okay? Then you know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. All right, so I've got some different kind of questions tonight. This says heparin bolus strip, but yeah, you caught me slipping. This is going to be our input and output. Jerica! Congratulations. Love it. That's why I like Wednesday so much better than Sundays. Like, for the live session purposes, because everybody's got their tests. They come in here like, I passed. And I'm like, yeah. All right. So calculate the 24-hour intake for the patient. All right. So these are mostly dealing with your IV fluids because this is what trips people up. Okay. It's Winning Wednesday. Y'all are winning. I love it. Okay. So when you have your IV fluids and your intake and your output, you've got to pay attention to the details, okay? This is asking for the 24-hour intake. So for 24 hours, we need to see how many milliliters they have gotten, okay? So you've got to pay attention to the details. So the first one, right? You've got normal saline. It's going at 150 mLs per hour as a continuous infusion. So that means it's just dripping, 150, right? Okay, so we need to see how much they've gotten in those 24 hours. So my goal is to find out how many milliliters, right? So if I have 150 milliliters per hour, and we are looking for the amount that they got in a 24-hour period, those two things are my puzzle pieces. So I'm going to always start with the goal. So you see, if you haven't been here before, all of my problems, you do them the same way. You set it up the exact same way. That's why I really like dimensional analysis versus desired over half, because you have to change it up some. This one, we're going to do the same way. So I want to always start with my goal. My goal is Simon. I'm going to do what Simon says. So I want to start with my milliliters. It needs to be first and it needs to be on top, because you want to be first and on top, right? Boom. Okay, so 150 mLs over an hour. You see, I kept what's together, okay? Now, I've got to get rid of hours because I've already got my goal. So everything else after the goal has got to be canceled out. That's why I always start with what I'm looking for. You start with what you're looking for. You don't have to go and find it, okay? So I'll put my 24 hours right here. Boom, boom, and it cancels out. So, no, I'm behind. I ain't even got my little pink calculator. I think I shall name her Pinky. 150 times 24 is 3,600 milliliters. So I'm going to put all of the ones that I find right here, because after we find out how many milliliters it is, we're going to add all of it up at the end. And that's going to be our total input, okay? So we did the normal saline. Does everybody understand why I did what I did? If not, ask the question now before I get too far gone. You know I take off. Hey, Nurse Glamber, go ahead, tag yourself, friend. Y'all, that's one of the pieces of the dynamic duo. Okay, that's who's going to help you with your nursing style questions, your NCLEX strategy. Because once you pass these classes, then you got to get that license to make that shmoney, right? Boom. Follow the lady. Nurse Glamber, enhanced nursing. Okay. All right. Please explain. So we had 150 milliliters as a continuous infusion. It was going for 24 hours continuously. That's why I did my 150 times my 24 hours. So unlike this one, this says one med V, 1 gram in 500 milliliters. So we know that 500 milliliters is the volume of normal saline 3 times a day. So 3 times in one day, I am giving Med V, right? So if I have 500 milliliters and I give 3 doses of it, that's going to be 1,500 milliliters. So we're looking for the 24-hour, okay? 24-hour. So 1,500 is how much? Well, why didn't you do anything with the grams? Was it asking for grams? No, I'm looking for the total volume, the total milliliters that the patient has received, okay? So that's just saying that 1 gram of Med V is swimming around in that 500 milliliter normal saline swimming pool. So once they get the normal saline, the medicine that's swimming around in it is going to go into the patient as well, okay? So don't let those grams, the mass and the volume trip you up. You're looking for milliliters, okay? So that was Med V. Boom. Now we're doing protonics. Okay. So protonics. It says 10 milligrams per 100 milliliter. You got it? Okay. 100 milliliters of normal saline at 20 milliliters an hour. Okay. So we know that this is the total amount that is going, okay? If you have 20 milliliters per hour, if you have 100 milliliters, that's going to only last 5 hours. So they got that whole total amount. So we don't even need to see how much they were getting per hour, because 20 milliliters and you only have 100, that's only going to last 5 hours. We need the whole 24 hours. So you don't have to multiply by anything. You just take that whole total amount, okay? Now, heparin, okay, it's saying that they're getting heparin 25,000 units per 500 milliliters at 15 milliliters an hour. So 15 milliliters an hour times our 24 hours. We are looking for the goal in milliliters, okay? So 15 milliliters per hour times our 24 hours. Our hours cancel out. And then what's that? 15 times 24 is 360. Okay? So in that whole day, they've only got 360 milliliters. So, boom. That's all of my IV intake. So I'll add all of these up together. And these are a little funky, but it's still kind of just seeing how much they've gotten in that time period. Because I got another one on here. It's going to ask for the 12-hour period instead of a 24. So then you really got to pay attention, okay? So 3,600 plus 1,500 plus 100 plus 360 is 5,560 milliliters. So just to clarify, we are ignoring the grams. Yes, Shanique, it's important and it's a part of the complete order, but those grams are swimming around in that volume, that fluid. So once they get the liquid part, they also get the grams, because that medicine is diluted into the volume. Protonics. So protonics is going at 20 milliliters an hour, right? And it says that it's in 100 milliliters. So they're getting that whole bag, and it only took 5 hours. So look, if you've got 100 milliliters, right? That's what the medicine is. It's going at 20 milliliters per hour. So if you trying to explain it good. If you had 20 milliliters an hour and 100 milliliters in the bag, you see that this would just last 5 hours. So you didn't have to multiply anything by it because it falls within that 24-hour range. It only took 5 hours for that protonics to complete because you had 100 milliliters that needed to be infused into the patient. Okay? So, unlike the normal saline that was just going continuous, 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 that protonics told you that it had a concentration of 10 milligrams per 100 milliliters. So, they got all of those 100 milliliters because it was infusing at 20 milliliters an hour. So, for every hour, they got 20 milliliters, 20 milliliters, 20 milliliters for 5 hours. And those 5 hours fall within the 24-hour range. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Let's do. All right. So this one. Okay. This one is calculate the 12-hour intake for a client receiving normal saline at 200 milliliters per hour continuous infusion, vancomycin 1 gram, 250 mLs, normal saline BID, Rocephin 1 gram, 100 milliliters, normal saline QID, Protonix 100 milliliters, normal saline at 10 milliliters per hour, and then heparin 25,000 units per 500 mLs of D5W at 8 milliliters per hour, and Levaquin 750 milligrams per 150 milliliters BID. Yams, leave them alone now. I told you I had a rough day. Lord Jesus, yes, Lord Jesus can do it. And we're going to do it too. It's not a milligram per dose question. It's an intake output. All right, so you take it one thing at a time, and we're going to go through it. Your mind is not blown. Put it back in there. 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 All right, so look. So the first thing is normal saline, okay? So we are looking for 12 hours and 12 hours only. That's half a day, right? That's half of your 24 hours, okay? So if we have, so we're looking for milliliters, and it's telling us that it's just dripping continuously, so there's no end to it. It's just ordered until the doctor tells you to stop it, right? So for 12 hours, how many milliliters did they get? So you got 200 milliliters per hour. It's going 12 hours. We're looking for milliliters. So we got our 200 milliliters per hour times our 12 hours. Boom, boom. What's that? 2,400? Or am I missing a zero? Yep, 2,400. Okay. I know your kids are great in math. Yes, my 11-year-old, she's an 8 honor roll student. She doesn't like math. She likes science. So yeah, she comes down here and tries to answer these questions. I'm like, okay then. All right, so that's your normal saline, okay? Now, your vancomycin, right? Let's look at the order. Vancomycin is the name of the drug. It has 1 gram swimming around in that 250 ml swimming pool of normal saline. BID. BID means twice a day. So that's every 12 hours. So in that whole day, they would get 2 doses of vancomycin, wouldn't it? But for half the shift, because we're just looking for 12 hours, we don't have to count that second dose. This is only for your 12 hours. So they will get 250 mLs. Okay? So that's the vancomycin. You see what I'm saying about paying attention to the details of it? Yeah. So then your Rocephin. It's another antibiotic, right? 1 gram is swimming around in 100 milliliters of normal saline, and they want them. They got a little gnarly, nasty infection here. You getting vancomycin, Rocephin. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyways, nurse mind. All right, boom, boom, boom. QID. That means 4 times a day. So 2 of those doses are going to be in those 12 hours because you would give it 6, 6, 6, and 6, right? Exactly. So I'm going to give this twice on my shift in those 12 hours. So that's 100 milliliters times your 2 doses. So that's going to be 200 milliliters. Do y'all see that? Okay, so we did Rocephin. Boom. Yes. Okay. So now your protonics is 100. So 10 milligrams is floating around in your 100 mLs and it's going at 10 milliliters an hour, right? So this one is your rate. You're smiling from ear to ear. Why are you smiling so hard? I'm glad though. I like a smile. I don't like them frowns. Okay. Anyways, 10 milliliters per hour. Okay. And it tells us that it's 100 milliliters in the bag, right? So if we do 12 hours, that's 120 milliliters, right? That's more that's in the bag. So you see, you didn't even have to multiply that. You could just do your whole 100 mLs. I can't give 120 because I don't have 120 to give. It was only 100 milliliters in the bag. So it wouldn't have took that whole 12 hours to infuse. Exactly. It was just that those 10. I'm getting every question you put up right. Yes, because you got it. I'm not good at math. I'm not good at math. You can I think you told me that about 50 million times. Now look at you. I'm just saying. Now I'm not trying to put you on Front Street, but I'm just saying. Heparin, 25,000 units per 500 mLs, and it's going 500 mLs, and it's going at 8 milliliters per hour. So if you got 8 milliliters per hour, and we're trying to see how many milliliters was given in 12 hours, we do our 8 milliliters per hour times our 12 hours, right? And that's going to be your 96 mLs. So 96 milliliters of heparin is what they got. So that's how you do it. You just go from step by step. I know when I pull it up, a lot of people was like, oh my goodness. So then let's see, Levaquin 750 mgs per 100 milliliters twice a day. Remember what we said about twice a day? So that means one dose 12 hours, then the second one 12 hours after that, right? So we will only have to account for 150 milliliters because you're giving it twice a day. We only want to know about that first 12 hours. Exactly. Yes, they are on vancomycin, Rocephin, and Levaquin. Then they got some protonics going on. That sounds like something with the gut. I don't know what, and heparin. Good gosh. I don't know what's going on with them, but they pretty sick. Okay, so that's all of our milliliters. So, goodness, 2,400 plus 250 plus 200 plus 100 plus 96 plus 150 equals 3,196 milliliters. Okay? High alert. Exactly. I see you, Ash. Okay? Anybody have any questions about this so far? I told you I had a different type of question for you tonight. Hey, I'm proud of myself. I didn't put intake and output in the book. I was considering doing some intake and output in further editions, and everybody who has the ebook, y'all automatically get the updated ones. But it's not, no, intake and output's not. So with intake and output, you just mainly have to worry about converting and paying attention to the times that are specified. Hey, a dream come true. How are you? Hey, maybe 7038. Can you tell me what input net and output net is? Same thing that we just did. I'm good. You guys, please, her book's so worth it. And she's very patient and very positive. Thank you so much. I try to be patient. I try to be. I try. 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 Alrighty. Alright, let's get into some more stuff. Oh, alright. Drug P. 500,000 units IM once. Available is a 10 milliliter vial of drug P that has a concentration of 100,000 units per 2 milliliters. How many milliliters will the nurse administer? All right, y'all. Tell me in the comments, what is the goal? What are we looking for? What are we looking for? Okay. Milliliters. So, our ordered amount is 500,000 units. All right, now we got two more sets of numbers, right? So, which number are we not going to use? Remember, concentrate on the concentration. Which one aren't we going to use? What's the fluff? Okay. So that is fluff. We don't care about how many milliliters is in the bottle. We want to know the concentration. How many milliliters, how many units, how many whatever unit of measure it is per volume, okay? So that's this. So that 100,000 units per 2 ml. All right. Boom. So we've got our puzzle pieces, we got our goal. What are we going to start with? We always start with the goal. So this puzzle piece has my milliliters in it, okay? So I'm going to flip it. Shroop, 2 ml over 100,000 units. I always want my goal to be first and on top. Keep your goals first, like Toy Toy said. Once you have your concentration, you really don't need bail sometimes. Bail? You gonna jack up? The vial? Is that what you mean? 500,000 units will go on the top and we'll put it over 1 because it's by itself. Remember, what's by itself stays by itself. What has a partner stays together, right? Okay. So if we do 2 times 500,000, that's like a million, ain't it? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Divided by 100,000. So would this be 10 milliliters? Is that what y'all got? Sometimes I have to double check my simple math. 500,000 times 2 divided by 100,000. Yeah, 10 milliliters. You guessed right then, homegirl. Boom. So that's how you would set that up. Make sure you also always concentrate on the concentration, okay? Don't get thrown off by the fluff. Unless it was asking how many vials would this take this, but the goal is not asking you about that. It's asking about milliliters, not asking milliliter per vial, how many vial per dose or anything about that. It does not have vial anywhere in sight. Doesn't matter, okay? Boom. Completion time. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. The nurse observes that there is 400 mLs left in the bag, infusing at 50 drops per minute with a drop factor of 20 drops per milliliter. How much time will it take to complete the infusion? All right. So put a 1 in the chat if you think you can do it. If you're not sure, kind of iffy, put a 1.5. If you just say, ain't no way, Jose, I know how to do this, then put a puzzle piece there. I see some boons. I see 1.5. Okay. I don't see no puzzle pieces. So, okay. Okay. I can take that. I can take that. All right. So, what are we looking for? What is our goal? Time. Our unit of measure for time is going to be hour. Okay? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So it's just going to be hour. How long will it take for the rest of this to get done? Okay, we're going to be looking for the hour because it'll give us a whole number, which will be your hours, and then the numbers behind it, like that's in decimal, behind the decimal, those will be your minutes. And we'll show you how to find the minutes with those, okay? So my puzzle pieces are the 400 milliliters that's left to infuse. It's going at a rate of 50 drops per minute. There is a drop factor of 20 drops per milliliter. Okay, so just looking at our puzzle pieces, and this is just the insight, just to see if you're paying attention or not. Is this on an IV pump or is this going via gravity? Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. Y'all know some stuff. Y'all know some stuff. All right. So, what am I going to start with? I'm always going to start with my goal, right? I've got hour. I don't have any puzzle pieces with hours in it. I got a puzzle piece with minute in it, but I need to start with my hour. You are nurses. The nurses are coming. Yes, the nurses are coming. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Boom. So, boom. We're always going to start with our hour. We only got a puzzle piece with a minute, right? Well, I always start with the goal. Sorry, not always start with hour. I always start with the goal, which is hour. So I got 1 hour is 60 minutes. Okay. Now I can put my minutes on there. Boom. So I'm going to flip it and put my minutes on the top so they cancel out with my minutes on the bottom. Minute cancels out. Now I have drops on the bottom. I need drops on the top. That's this puzzle piece. 20 drops per milliliter. My drops cancel out, and now I have milliliters left. This is my last puzzle piece. So now I have 400 milliliters, and it's over 1 because it's just by itself. It doesn't equal to anything, which is okay. And now we can solve the problem and do our computation because the puzzle is completed. So I'll do 20 times 400 divided by 60 divided by 50. I got 2.6 repeating. I'm going to do it again because sometimes I be a little bit paranoid. Like, did I press the right one? So if I got the same thing twice, then I know I did it right. Boom, I did. All right. So this part is the hour part. This part is the minute part. So it's not 0.60, it's not 666666 minutes, right? So I had to take everything behind the decimal. I usually just grab the tenths place and the hundredths place and multiply it by 60 because there are 60 minutes in an hour. So that's going to be 39.6. So I'm going to round it to 40 minutes. So it'll take 2 hours and 40 minutes to complete. Mm-hmm. Is it the way you calculate, babe? Yeah. All right. That was smooth, wasn't it? Any questions about the puzzle pieces on this question? Oh. What are you talking about? Mind blown. Woke up this morning. All right. So we'll go on if nobody has any questions. Y'all good? Y'all good? Smile on my face. All right. Let's do another one. Okay. So, a patient, exactly, puzzle pieces all in my place. All right. A patient is receiving an IV infusion at 350 mLs of D5W at 75 milliliters per hour. The infusion was started at 8:30. What time will the infusion be completed? Can I send you the quiz for nursing? What you talking about? The quizzes that's on my that are on my site? Okay, the goal is time. Correct. So we will be looking for hours again, right? You just need your one-on-one. Send me a message. We'll set it up. Okay. So what are our puzzle pieces? We've got 350 mLs. It's going at 75 mLs per hour. Okay. We'll use this start time after we see how many hours. Okay. Boom. So, what are we going to start with? This puzzle piece, because I want hours on the top, right? Hour over 75 milliliters. Now we can put our milliliters on the top and it cancels out. I put a 1 on the bottom because it's by itself with that puzzle piece. What's that, 5 hours? 350 divided by 75. Y'all know I have to double check myself. 350 divided by 75. Nope. 350 divided by 75. It's 4.6666666. See? I'm like, it's almost 5 hours. So 4.6 repeating, okay? So remember, this is hours, this is minutes, right? So once again, I'll take my numbers that are behind the decimal and multiply it times 60. And that's going to give me my minutes. So that's what, 39.6? So 40 minutes. So 4 hours and 40 minutes. Okay? Don't you start cutting up on me tonight. Alright, so if we start at 8:30 and we want to go 4 hours and 40 minutes, what would our end time be? Because it says, what time will the infusion be completed, right? So look, if I added 40 plus 30, that's going to be 70 minutes, right? Then I have to add my 1 and all of that. So when it's something like that and like the numbers are over 40 and 30 minutes, I borrow time. So I'm going to borrow time to the next hour. So it'll be easier for me to add. Okay. So I know that 30 minutes from now will be 9 o'clock, right? So if I took my 30 minutes from over here, I still have 4 hours and 10 minutes left. Now I can add my 4 hours and 10 minutes and it'll look like something. So 13:10, which would be my end time. Yeah, you see how it was like 1270? Exactly. That's why I borrow the time. Because if you just add it like that, it'll look like 1270. Like, there is no 1270. Because it's 60 minutes in an hour. You got to carry your 1, right? What? Anybody have any questions about this one? 30 minutes. I just borrowed it from over here. You see what I did? Okay. Who need to be blocked, child? I don't see it. How did I get 1310? Okay. So 1310. I'm going to show you how I do it again. Alright. Okay. So we found out that it'll take 4 hours and 40 minutes for this infusion to be completed. So if you start at 0830, okay, if you add 40 to this, it's going to be 70, okay? That's not a real time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add enough to bring it to the next hour. So if I add 30 minutes, that's going to bring it to 9 o'clock. So I'll take my 30 minutes from my infusion time. So I still got 4 hours and 10 minutes. Now I can add my 4 hours and 10 minutes. And that side is the minute side. This side is the hour side. So that's 10 minutes. 9 plus 4 is 13. So your end time is 13:10. You see what I did there? Yeah. I missed 2 live sessions and came back to new questions. Raquel, where you been? I'm glad you came back though. I try to switch it up, try to incorporate all that I can. Can we do night shift report for nursing? What do you mean? Like how to do night shift report? Like, are you asking me about night shift or how you do a shift report? Like, could you please clarify your question? All right, let's do some weight base. You know, these are my favorite. Okay, drug B. 15 milligrams per kilogram per day, given in divided doses every 6 hours, has been ordered for a patient that weighs 55 kgs. All right. Drug B is available in the concentration of 100 milligrams per 2 milliliters. How many milliliters per day will be administered? What is the goal? You do it flawless. Thank you. Flawless victory. Like Mortal Kombat. All right, boom. Milliliter per day. You want to make sure that you include in your goal everything that it is asking for you to solve for, okay? If you just had milliliter in your goal, you wouldn't pay attention to this per day part. You see, it has to be divided into those doses, and this is the amount per the whole day. It could ask you per day or per dose, okay? So make sure you always get that per part that it asks for, per part. All right, so boom, let's look at something. This is the weight-based problem, so we know we're going to need the 3 Ps. Your patient's weight, your prescription, and your product. So our patient weighs 55 kgs, so I'm going to put that puzzle piece. Then my order is this, my prescription, 15 milligrams per kilogram per day. That means that 15 milligrams per kilogram of body weight is ordered for the whole day, okay? Doesn't our goal want that amount for the whole day? So therefore, this puzzle piece will have our days in it. So therefore, we do not need to know that it's in divided doses every 6 hours. That's going to be fluff. The fluff, okay? Fluff. It's asking about milliliter per day. Now, if it was milliliter per dose, then we would for sure need to have that part. But that's not what the question is asking for us to solve for. You dig? All right. So then my last P is the concentration of that product, which is 100 milligrams per 2 ml. Okay. So how are we going to set this one up, ladies and gents? How are we going to set it up? If y'all do me a favor, y'all double tap that screen, share that live for me. I appreciate it. All right, Glamfears. 2 ml over 100 mg. Okay. So now we have milligrams on the bottom. I can put my milligrams on the top. 15 milligrams per kilogram per day. Okay. My milligrams cross out. Now I got milliliter on the top, which is gold. I got day on the bottom, which is my other goal. The only thing that needs to disappear now are these kilograms. So 55 kilograms over 1. Kilograms crosses out, and now our puzzle is complete. Okay? So we'll do 2 times 15 times 55. divided by 100. And it's going to be 16.5 mLs per day. Any questions on this one? These are my favorite too, Raquel. Hey. Do that Tina Turner shoulder. Hey, hey, hey. Put the puzzle pieces together. Okay? No questions. We'll move right along. Move it, move it, move it. Reconstitution. Big word, big word. Add water to a powder. Shake it. Give it to the patient. You want to make sure that you concentrate on the concentration. This one's a little bit different. So let's go through it, okay? 75 milligrams of drug Z is to be added to 1 liter of lactated Ringer's IV solution to be infused IV PV over 2 hours, every 8 hours for 3 days. Oh my gosh, it's a lot of stuff in here. Available is 1,000 milligrams of drug Z in a vial, which when reconstituted yields a concentration of 400 milligrams per 3 mLs. How much of drug Z will be added to the IV? All right, so if you think you can solve this one, put a 1 in the chat. If you can't, put a 2. If you just wait and look for me to solve it, put a puzzle piece. And there's no shame here, okay? No shame. I'd rather you get all of your questions and confusions out, go rock it on the test, and then come back. All right, so look, this is what the problem is telling us. You got drug Z. We have to add that to the IV bag because remember I said like the IV solution is the stuff that the drugs are swimming around in, right? So we need 75 milligrams of that to be added to our 1 liter bag of lactated Ringers so that they can get it in their veins over 2 hours, every 8 hours for 3 days. So this is a complete order. You got your drug name, you've got your strength, you've got your route, you've got your frequency, and your duration. Okay? So all of that other stuff is just fluff. What are we looking for? We need 75 milligrams of drug Z. Okay? Drug Z comes in a vial and it's got 1,000 milligrams in that vial. Remember what I said about the vials earlier? Do we care about how much is in it? No, we want the concentration. So this is what I'm looking for. The concentration, 400 milligrams per 3 ml. Okay, so that's fluff. That's fluff. That and that is also fluff. This is big fluff. Okay? This is all I need. So I need to see how much of drug Z. So if I'm reconstituting it, that means that I'm making it a liquid. So how many mLs will I add to the IV fluid? Okay? So if I'm looking for milliliters, it'll be 3 milliliters over 400 milligrams times my 75 milligrams over 1 milligrams crosses out. And that's it. Period, poo. So 3 times 75 divided by 400 is going to be 0.5625. What if we were to round this to the nearest tenths place? What would our answer be? Okay. I see you. I see you. Exactly. 0.6 milliliters. Okay. Anybody have any questions on this one? This looks big, bad, and scary. But I told you, use what you're looking for. Concentrate on the concentration. What's ordered? Exactly. All that fluff. You hate to see it coming, right? Okay. Y'all quit being so intimidated by stuff. You know things. You know things. You got your puzzle pieces. You've got your mental fortitude. Like, you wouldn't be in nursing school if you weren't able to be in nursing school, or you weren't intelligent enough, okay? You made it this far. Just go through it. Just do it. Just do it. All right? Heparin. Bolus in the drip. All right. Your patient has an order to receive a heparin bolus of 4,000 units followed by an IV drip of 14 units per kilogram per hour. Your patient weighs 203 pounds. You have heparin vial labeled heparin 1,000 units per milliliter. What will you give your patient for the initial bolus? What will you set your IV pump at for a continuous drip if your 1,000 ml bag is labeled 40,000 units of heparin? Okay, so this is a two-part question, all right? So the first thing we need to do is find out how many milliliters we're going to give for this bolus. Bolus is big word, one-time administration. Even though I passed my dosage, you're still with me until I finish this year in August. Come on. We in it. We in it to win it. Here we go. Here we go. The bolus information stays with the bolus. All right. So what does it say? We need to administer 4,000 units for our bolus amount. Okay. And then we have a vial that has 1,000 units per milliliter. The rest of that information is going with the drip. The drip info goes with the drip. The bolus info goes with the bolus. Okay. So if I'm looking for milliliters, what am I going to start with? Same thing I've been starting with all night, milliliters. So ml over 1,000 units. Then I've got my 4,000 units over 1. Units crossed out. I said crossed out. Crossed out, Lord. Canceled out. Then we got 4,000 divided by 1,000. So that'll be 4 milliliters. You got it. That's already half the battle done right there, right? So 4 milliliters is for our bolus. Now we need to go and look at the drip. So we've used the bolus and we've drawn it up and we've given it to the patient. Okay. So what does it say about our drip? So we've got 14 units per kilogram per hour. Our patient weighs 203 pounds. And then in our IV bag, it is 1,000 mLs of 40,000 units. All right. So my goal is milliliter per hour. Okay. So I'm going to start with my milliliter. My goal is first and on top. So 1,000 ml over 40,000 units. Then I'll do my units on top to cancel out with my units on the bottom. Now you see I've got milliliter on the top. I got hour on the bottom. The only thing that has to go are these kilograms. Exactly, the 3 P's. Patient, prescription, product. You got it, y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of you. So we've used that. We've used that. Our patient's weight is in pounds, so we'll need our conversion. So 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. This is how I get away with not having to do any extra computations before I set my equation up. My equation is going to do all of the work for me. I only have to do one computation at the end. Work smart, not hard, okay? And then I have my 203 pounds over 1. It cancels out. Everything is now gone, okay? So we'll do 1,000 times 14 times 203 divided by 40,000 divided by 2.2 be 32.29. If we rounded this to the nearest whole number, what would our answer be? Nearest whole number. So we start at the whole number. You go to the tenths place. If it's 4 or below, it's a no-go. 5 or more, you raise the score. So it'll be 33 milliliters per hour. Sorry, 32. What am I doing? Wait a minute. 32, 32, 32. Sorry. 32 mLs per hour. Like, hold on. I'm just kidding. I kid. Just kidding. Ebony. Hey, girl, you snuck in here. Reconstitution again. Okay. What? Red eye. Okay. So drug T, 500 milligrams IV, Q6 for 4 days. That's a complete order, right? Available is drug T, 250 milligram powder. Add 2 milliliters of sterile water to obtain a concentration of 125 milligrams per milliliter. How many milliliters will the nurse administer for 1 dose? Okay, y'all let me know in the comments. What is our goal? What is our goal? What are we looking for? That's what I'm looking for. KK, do you love? No, I'm just kidding. I'm finna go in the song. That's my baby's name, her nickname. I go live Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you, Toy. Remember what I told y'all? Make sure you give it everything that it asks for, okay? Because it could ask for a milliliter per day. It could ask for a milliliter per minute, per hour, per whatever, okay? Y'all get in the habit of making sure you get everything. You want all of it, okay? So milliliter per dose, okay? So let's look at our order. 500 milligrams is 1 dose, okay? That's your frequency. It's not asking about milliliters per day, and it's not asking for how many days. Fluff, okay? Now, what other puzzle piece do I need? The concentration, 125 milligrams per milliliter. Okay, that's fluff. That is fluff too. Okay, so now we're gonna set it up. I need my milliliters on the top, so I'm gonna start with my milliliter. 125 on the bottom. Then I'll do my 500 milligram per dose. Milligram crosses out. Now I got milliliter on the top and dose on the bottom. So what's that? Is it 4 milliliters per dose? 500 divided by 125. Yup. I like to dance when I get it right. I'm like, hey, I did that. Yay! Okay. Any questions on why anything was fluff? How I'm setting it up? What I'm looking for? Any questions? Any questions? All right. Any questions? How do you do the free quiz? You just go on there and you log in with your email. It's free. Like, you just log in with your email, and then you just click on whatever quiz that you want to take, and you take it. And the videos that are on my YouTube channel, like for that specific quiz, are linked before it. So if you want to get a refresher on how to do it, boom. If not, take the quiz. And may the odds ever be in your favor. All right, here we go. I think besides the weight base, this one might be my favorite type. Because this is when the puzzle pieces really be puzzle pieceling. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, this one is a microgram per kilogram per minute question. Okay. So, a client who weighs 112 pounds is receiving an IV infusion of drug K at 75 milliliters per hour. The IV solution is labeled with the concentration of drug K, 100 milligrams per 5 milliliter. How many mics per kilogram per minute is the client receiving? And we're going to round it to the nearest tenth, okay? So, we just going to, even if you don't know, you're just like, oh my gosh, how am I going to figure this out? Boom, start with your goal, okay? What is my goal? Microgram per kilogram per minute, okay? So, I'm just going to pick out what I see. 112 pounds, okay? Because I know I got to have a weight, right? Because I got kilogram per minute in there, right? I got to have a time. So I know that 75 milliliters has a time in it. And then I've got the concentration of my medicine. So, and that's 100 milligrams. They said I'm supposed to have some micrograms somewhere. So that's where that'll come from, okay? That's how you use your goal to just pick out stuff, okay? Even if it doesn't fit, or even if it's not a puzzle piece like that's for that puzzle, it won't fit in there. Like you'll try to squeeze it in there and it won't fit, okay? So, what are we going to start with? What are we going to start with? What do we always start with? Night night. I see you, Toy Toy. You start with those micrograms because that is what the goal is, right? So we don't have any micrograms in our puzzle pieces. We have milligrams, but we know that we can convert milligram to microgram. So 1,000 micrograms is 1 milligram. Okay. Now I can put my milligrams on the top. 100 milligrams is 500 mLs. So I crossed that out. Now I've got milliliters at the bottom. I know I need milliliters at the top because I already got my top goal, which was microgram. I'm just trying to get kilogram and minutes to go at the bottom, okay? So, I'm looking for my milliliters. That's this puzzle piece. 75 ml per hour. My milliliters are gone. Now, I've got hour at the bottom. I need minute. So, that's going to be my 1 hour is 60 minutes. Boom, boom. So that's the second goal. So my last goal is going to be kilograms, right? I've got pounds. So I know that there is a pound to kilogram conversion, right? So where am I going to put my kilograms? Am I going to put it on the top or am I going to put it at the bottom? Do my kilograms go on the top or do they go on the bottom? Y'all let me know. Where in that goal do you see kilograms? It's right here on the bottom, right? Always do what the goal tells you to do. Your main goal is to look like the goal. You want all of those puzzle pieces to cancel out except for those units that are in the goal. So if you got microgram on the top, kg and minute on the bottom, we want microgram on the top, minutes already there, so I'm going to put kg on the bottom, okay? That's the whole basis of doing the puzzle pieces. We're piecing together the units so that the numbers will be in the appropriate places, that they'll multiply and divide and give you the answer for what the question is asking. Did I have just a revelation for a minute? You're like, oh my gosh, Becky. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm not going to finish it. All right. Now we've got kg at the bottom, right? But now we got pounds at the top. That's not a part of the goal. They got to get canceled out, right? So I have pounds. Guess where I'm going to put it? Right here at the bottom because it needs to cancel out. Remember, that's how we cancel out things. On the top and on the bottom, the same unit. Now we can finally do our computation. No math has been done up until this point for this very, very complicated problem. Just puzzle pieces. I like it. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. 1,000 times 100 times 75 times 2.2 divided by 500 divided by 60 divided by 112 equals 4.91. It tells us to round to the nearest tenth. So this is my tenths place. I go to my hundreds. It's a 1. So it's a no-go, right? So 4.9 mics per kilogram per minute. Try it again. You might have had a zero somewhere or didn't divide it by something. And the way that I did it by not having to write down that long number is I kept it in the calculator. So if you've been here before, you might know about the calculator trick. If not, then I'll explain it if you ask. You did it, Toy Toy. Yes. And this is like one of the hardest ones. This is what you might see in your critical drip section. And you did that with no math. So when people say, "Oh, I'm scared because I don't feel like I'm good at math and I want to be a nurse, but I'm not really." You don't have to be. If you can multiply, divide, subtract, and add, then you can do this. Look, she is a testimony. She's a living witness. All right, boom. So, KK, this is what we're going to do. So, to solve this, you would multiply all of your numbers in the numerator, all of your numbers in the denominator, then divide the numerator by the denominator. So, that's what we're going to do, but we're going to keep it in the calculator. So, all of your numbers across the top, sans the ones, because they don't make a difference. So, I don't add the ones. They don't make a difference. I'm just trying to save you a step and some time, right? You're going to do multiply in between. So, 1,000 times 100 times 75 times 2.2. Then you hit divide. Because you see how long that number is? Look at all those zeros. And if you add or leave out a zero, that can greatly impact your answer, right? So then you hit divide, and now you input all of your numbers on that bottom row, but you hit divide in between those. So multiply across the top, divide across the bottom. So 500 divide 60 divide 2.2. I'm sorry, not 2.2, 112. I messed it up. Wait a minute. 175 times 2.2 divide 500 divide 60 divided by 112. Sorry. And then, boom. So, I did not write down one thing. Good night, fellow nurse. Good night. And congratulations again. Yes, you must know those conversions. Must know those conversions. I'm telling you, it would behoove you to learn those conversions. Know them. And it doesn't have to be difficult. Shoot, I made a tumbler with it on there. You be drinking in class all day trying to stay hydrated. Look at it. Just break it up into pieces. You got your king here died by drinking chocolate milk. However you need to get it. Write your index cards down, but just break it down into pieces. All right. We did a Heparin problem. Let's do this one. All right. Good night. Orders. Drug R, 5 micrograms per minute. Drug R is 500 milligrams and 250 mLs of normal saline. How many milliliters should the nurse set the infusion pump? Okay. So, what are we looking for? Milliliter per hour, right? Okay. So, what are our puzzle pieces? 5 micrograms per minute. And then we've got 500 milligrams and 250 mLs. Those are the only two pieces that we have, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to start with our milliliters because that's the goal, first and on top. So 250 ml over 500 mg. Okay, we've used that. Now we've got milligram at the bottom. Do I have any milligrams to cancel out in that other puzzle piece? No, I have micrograms. Exactly, Toy Toy. We need a conversion. So 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. So now I can put my 5 micrograms per minute next. My micrograms have crossed out. Now at the bottom, I have minute. I need hour. So I'll do 60 minutes is 1 hour. And everything is now canceled out except for milliliter per hour. That's it. So 250 times 5 times 60 divided by 500 divided by 1,000. 250 times 5 times 60 divided by 500 divided by 1,000. It's a very slow drip. Oh. But that's what it is. Okay. All right, here's your drops per minute. I know, right? It was slow. Sometimes the numbers be off when you be trying to make these questions up. All right, 450 milligrams of drug V and 250 mLs of normal saline. IV piggyback over 2 hours, every 8 hours. Calibrated tubing has a drop factor of 15 drops per milliliter. How many drops per minute will the nurse set as the rate? Okay, what is the goal? What's the goal? What's the goal? My math is finally mathing. I love the puzzle pieces. Yay, Kayla. Love it, love it, love it. Okay? Drops per minute, okay? Alrighty. So, we got some fluff here, okay? We got a lot of little fluff here. So, with your IV questions that aren't weight-based, right? Well, all of your IV questions are going to be milliliter per hour. But the ones that aren't weight-based, they give you the order and they give you how fast they want it or the drop factor, whatever, right? We are always going to be looking for volume over time. So milliliter per hour or drops per minute, okay? What is the volume that they want to have infused? Volume is milliliter or liter, right? What is the volume? This is how you pick out the fluff, okay? What's the volume? Okay, 250 mLs. Okay, what is the infusion time? Not the frequency. Remember, we identify frequency. It says every in front of it, right? What's the infusion time? Exactly. Over. It literally tells you to put it over 2 hours. Volume over time. Okay? Y'all seeing it? So, that's fluff. Boom. This is fluff. Bow, bow. Now, all we need is the drop factor, right? So, 15 drops per milliliter. Now we can set it up. So if our goal is drops per minute, so drops got to go on the top, what are we going to start with? Drop factor. 15 drops per milliliter times, we got milliliter at the bottom, so we'll put our 250 mLs over our 2 hours next. milliliters cancels out. And now I've got to get minutes on the bottom. So 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Boom, boom. Everything is now gone except for drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. 15 times 250 divided by 2 divided by 60. It's going to be 31.25. And we'll have to round this to the nearest whole number. So after you round this to the whole number, what would our answer be? $31 drops per minute. Exactly. That's it. So drops per minute questions, they like, oh, I don't get it, I don't get it. Put your puzzle pieces together. Always look for the volume over the infusion time, not the every time. Remember, every means frequency. That's how many times a day. What is it, every 8 hours? So we're going to give this to the patient 3 times that day. That's not how long they wanted to going over 8 hours. You would have given it in vain. Good night, Toy Toy. Thank you for joining in and good work. I got one last question. I got a safe dose. Then I'm going to bed too, girl. All right. A child has an order for drug X, 35 milligrams IV, BID, for an infection. The drug reference indicates that a safe single dose is 2 to 2.5 milligrams per kilogram per day in 2 divided doses. The child weighs 40 pounds. Is this a safe dose to administer? Okay, so this is your pediatric safe dose range. So what we're going to do is look at the safe dose range and see if it's safe or is it not safe. Okay, this right here is your order. Okay, don't touch it. Don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. Okay, what we want to see first is the lower limit and the upper limit. So it says, is this a safe dose? So what I want to do is see how many milligrams per dose is safe and not safe. So that's why we'll use our 2 different numbers. With the 2 is the lowest amount that they can receive. That's going to be therapeutic and work. And 2.5 is going to be the most that they can receive without it being toxic. Okay. So our patient weighs 40 pounds. It's a weight-based type of problem. Okay. And then we've got 2 milligrams per kg per day. And then we've got 2.5 milligrams per kg per day. Now look, it says milligrams per dose. Right here, I have day. In my goal, I want dose. So I need to know how many doses there are in the day. So it says in 2 divided doses. So I know that in one day, there are 2 doses. That is the difference when you're doing your milligram per day and per dose. If you have that puzzle piece with day in it and your puzzle has dose on the bottom, you're going to need to know how many doses are in that day. This one told us that it was in 2 divided doses, but sometimes it has where it says every blank hours. Then you would use your 24 hours divided by however many hours it says every after, and then that would give you your doses. So now let's set it up. So I'm going to start with my least amount first. So 2 mg per kg / day. All right, we already got mg at the top. We got kg in day that needs to go. So 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. I'm going to do my 40 pounds over 1. My kilograms crosses out. The last thing that needs to go is the day. So in one day, there are 2 doses. Okay? So now we're at goal. So we can do 2 times 40 divided by 2.2 divided by 2. So it's going to be 18.2 mgs. Okay. Next, we'll do our 2.5. So 2.5 mg per kg slash day times our 1 kilogram over 2.2 pounds. Our kgs are gone. What is going on with this pencil? Boom. Our 40 pounds over 1. So that took care of the conversion. And then in one day, there are 2 doses. So 2.5 times 40 divided by 2.2 divided by 2, which is 22.7. Okay, so 18.2 to 22.7 milligrams per dose is our safe dose range. So what that means is that at or in between these two numbers is safe to give. Okay, anything that is less than or more than that is not safe. So that's the red zone. Okay, so let's look at our dosing. This is 1 dose. Okay, if it doesn't have /minute /hour /day behind it, it is assumed to be 1 dose. So 35 milligrams has been ordered. Okay, does that fall in the green zone or does it fall in the red zone? Is it safe or is it not safe? Exactly. It's too much, right? It falls in the red zone. Falls in the red zone. It's not safe. So, to answer this question, is this a safe dose? No. Call the doctor. Quick, quick, quick. Anybody have any questions about this one? That's how you do your safe dose questions. You find your zone by using your recommended safe dosage and the weight of the patient. Then you take the order because it can ask for milligram per day or it can ask per dose. You just have to pay attention to the details in the question and the goal. The goal is going to be your best friend. Can you go back to the rules so I can get a screenshot? The rules. Okay. Did you get it? Did you get your shot? You got it. Okay. So that's how you do these. And that's all the questions that I had queued up for tonight. Make sure if you want a comprehensive review from all the things, the basic stuff to the hardest stuff, that you go and you sign up for the Puzzle Piece Workshop. Everybody who attends will get a promo code for the workbook, the ebook only, and you also get a recording of the session and the questions that come along with it. So 2 hours, interactive live via Zoom. Can I teach you how to do night report for nursing? What are you looking for exactly? I'm looking for a one-on-one. I'm a new student. Do you have something bigger than 1 session for 55? Are you trying to I don't think see a lot of people start off saying, "Oh, I just need question after session after session after session." Once we get that 1 session done and we put down the basic work and you go back and practice, you're not gonna need that many sessions. Now, I'm not that type of person to be like, "Oh yeah, you can come back and you can study with me as much as you want to." No, I'm gonna get you straight. And then if you need another session just to kind of brush up, then that's it. You probably won't even need all of that. This is it's not a one-on-one, but it's not this either. So you can interact with the Zoom and ask your questions live, right? You can schedule it before March. You can schedule it way before March because you want to practice. You want to practice. Okay, I'm going to cut off the stream on the YouTube. Thank you, YouTubers, for tuning in. I appreciate your feedback and your participation. And I will see y'all YouTubers on Sunday.